morning. Welcome to my channel, Over 60 Scene, and my name's Wilma. And today I'm going to demonstrate how to make veggie fritters. Now this is a recipe that I developed after watching several other recipes on YouTube, and I sort of adapted it to how I like it. And basically what I usually do is either have this for breakfast, I might have it for like a mid-morning brunch, and I've even made them for lunch. And it's a very frugal meal. You can use fresh vegetables or you can use leftover vegetables out of your fridge. You can't really do anything wrong. So let me show you what I do. Let's get started. Okay, so here are my ingredients. I'm going to use half of a zucchini. I'm going to use maybe 2 or 3 leaves of this green cabbage. This is an organic, uncooked green cabbage. I'm going to grate probably half of this carrot. And I'm going to chop up these 2 mushrooms. And also I'm going to chop up this, I think it's about a 1/4 cup of parsley. And then I have 2 eggs, salt and pepper, and I always use my favorite seasoned salt, which happens to be Lawry's, but you can use whatever seasoned salt you like the taste of. And a 1/4 cup of flour. And I have my grater, I have 2 bowls, I have my potato peeler and a knife. So basically this is what you're going to need to make the veggie fritters. Oh, and a large spatula for turning them over. And then I always use a non-stick frying pan. And for the cooking oil, I either use olive oil or avocado oil. And usually for higher temperature frying, avocado oil is best. But you can use olive oil. I've used both. I think today I'm probably going to use avocado oil. And I also forgot a knife for chopping. Okay, so first I'm going to peel off a couple of leaves of this cabbage. I think 2 will be enough. It depends on how many veggie fritters you want to make. I'm just making for only myself. My husband doesn't care for these, so I'm just going to use 2. But if I had a large family that I was making this for, I would, obviously use maybe a few more. Okay, and then I'm going to cut out the tough inside, I don't know what that's called, the thick stem. I'm just going to rinse these. I always wash my vegetables, even when they say organic, there can still be some sort of residue on them. Okay, I'm going to chop. I'm going to chop these up into very small pieces. And if you have an automatic chopper, which I do, you can use that as well. I'm going to set these over here for the moment. I hope you're able to see this okay. You need a nice sharp knife for this, because you want to kind of chop it up like coleslaw is kind of what you want to do. And if you don't like cabbage, you can just leave it out. You don't have to have cabbage. Cabbage vegetables are good for you, so I try to incorporate them in whenever I can, but you could use, you could chop up leftover broccoli or leftover cauliflower if you don't like the idea of the cabbage. Okay, so I'm going to put the chopped cabbage in this small bowl because I'm going to just steam it in the microwave real quick so that it's not so, crispy. So what I ended up with was 1 cup of chopped cabbage that I'm going to put in the microwave. Okay, let's check it. Carefully removing the plate as it will be hot. Okay, so it's kind of wilted down now, which is what we want. Okay, being the photographer and the cook at the same time is interesting. So I'm going to put that in my bigger bowl. Get a spatula, get it all out of here. Okay, now I already washed the parsley, so I'm going to chop the parsley. And you can use as much or as little of this as you want. And again, if you don't like parsley, leave it out. I happen to like it. I like the flavor. It gives a fresh flavor. And it's good for you, so what this will be in the end here is approximately a 1/4 cup of parsley that I'm going to go ahead and put into the bowl. Okay. Now I've got a carrot, but I need to peel it. I'm just going to peel it in the sink here. Whoop. Just going to rinse it off a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to grate this on the fine side of my grater. I've even made these with grated sweet potato. In fact, I do have a sweet potato I could add today if I wanted to. I made them with leftover mashed potatoes. I've just made them with a lot of things, and they always taste good. Okay, that's about as much as I am going to get from that carrot. And again, this looks like, again, about a 1/4 cup of carrot. 1 smallish carrot. Oop, what's that? Get rid of that. Okay, put this in the bowl. So here's what I have so far. Okay, I'm going to chop the mushrooms, and I forgot to mention earlier when I was showing you the ingredients, an onion. I forgot the onion. I always forget something, so I'm going to have to chop that too. So I'm just going to slice these up first, and I did wash these before, because you don't want, when you get the mushrooms out of the package, they have that soil on them from where they grow them. So you really want to get all that off of there because, you know what they grow mushrooms in. And again, if you don't like mushrooms, leave it out. Leave it out. You can't do anything wrong here. Can't do anything wrong. So I'm going to chop this up really small as I can get it. And oh, this is going to be like, I would say, a good cup of mushrooms. Just 2 mushrooms made like it's going to make like a cup. Okay, so then put that in. Okay, and then I'm going to do half of this small onion, because I think that'll be enough. About a 1/4 cup again. And if you like more carrots, put more carrots. If you like more zucchini, put more zucchini. You can't do anything wrong. I can't say it enough. Because once it's all done, it's going to taste great. Okay, make sure that these pieces are small. Okay, and so there we go, here we go, about another 1/4 cup of onions. Okay, let me get this out of the way. Okay, now the zucchini. 1 zucchini is way too much, so I'm going to cut it in half. And I'm going to grate it on the bigger side. Because zucchini is soft and it'll steam up really quick. Okay. So that is a good... Oh, let's see. What do we have here? That's a cup. That's a good 1.5 to 2 cups of zucchini. If you're doing it for your big family, use the whole zucchini. Okay, so this is a good amount of vegetables here. A good amount. So I'm just going to stir this up a little bit. Get it all mixed. Looks great. It looks like a good salad. But if you notice here, these are all low-calorie type vegetables, maybe with the exception of the carrot, but the parsley, the zucchini, the mushrooms, those are all low calorie. Okay, now, some recipes will tell you to sprinkle salt on it and let it sit. So I've got salt, I'm gonna sprinkle. And let it sit for like 20 minutes to a half an hour while it drops the water. The water comes out of the vegetables and then you drain it. But I've always been impatient and I never took time to do that. So that's up to you. The patties do hold together a little better if the moisture comes out of the zucchini, but I look at it this way, you're losing vitamins too in that good water that comes out. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. So I'm gonna put pepper, and again, salt and pepper to taste. And I put about, of my favorite seasoned salt, I put about a tablespoon. About a tablespoon. Let me see. Yeah, tablespoon. Because you want to give it flavor. Okay. And then a 1/4 cup of flour. And then just kind of incorporate that in. The idea is the vegetables, not so much the flour, but you need something to hold the patties together, because the more vegetables you have, the more flour you need. And then 2 eggs. I've tried doing it with only 1 egg and they didn't come out as good. Okay, and then mix those in. And as you do this, and you see how many vegetables you actually have in the mixture, you might want to add a little more flour, which is what I'm thinking right now too. Like instead of a 1/4 cup, you might want to go with 1/3 of a cup. So because you need them to hold together. Although just by adding the egg, it sort of reduced the vegetables down just a little bit. It's interesting how that worked. Okay, so I am going to add a little more flour because my mixture does look quite runny. So I'm going to add another tablespoon of flour. So I'm going to change it. If you're not draining the liquid off of the vegetables, then you're going to need to add more flour so that they hold together. So it's kind of a trade-off. Okay, so here's what you have. I hope you can see this okay. It's a very gooey mixture. Okay, so now I'm going to heat my oil in my pan. I'm going to put my pan on medium to medium high heat. Okay, I'm going to use the olive oil, maybe 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Or I'm sorry, avocado oil is what I'm using. You just want a thin coat on the bottom of the pan. Okay, so we need to let it get hot. It needs to be, fairly hot when you spoon the mixture in. This is going to make like 4 patties, which is still way too much for me. This recipe is good for a family meal. Okay, I just put a little tiny piece of cabbage in there so that I could tell when the oil is hot. It will start bubbling. So I'm just going to spoon it in. I do like 2 spoonfuls and just kind of pat it into sort of a circular shape, like a patty. Wow, I'm only going to have room for like 3 the first go round. Wow, okay. That kind of gives you an idea. I'm going to have to, so there, we have them frying away, and I'm going to set my timer for 4 minutes, like 4 minutes per side. That's kind of the time that I have previously used. So, but we're just going to kind of see after they fry for 4 minutes. Oh, I wish you could smell these right now. They smell so good. And it's important not to flip them, you know, before they're ready, before they get a nice crust on the bottom. So we've got another 2 minutes to go. Okay, my pan doesn't heat evenly, so what I usually do is rotate them, not flip them, but rotate them so that what was towards the inside is now towards the outside, and so you can get all the sides evenly browned, because I don't know, they just don't make frying pans that heat as evenly as they should. And so now you can see why we use a nonstick pan, because it makes it easy to do that. So we're almost up to 4 minutes, in which case I will kind of check the bottom and see how nicely browned they are. Okay, let me turn off the timer. I'm just gonna, this is the first one I put in. I'm just gonna lift it. Okay, I'm not seeing a lot of brown, so I'm gonna do it, let it go for another minute. Okay, that was another minute. And I got out a plate and put some paper towels on top. And so I'm going to flip. I have a, you can use 2 spatulas, or you can use a spatula and a bowl scraper. But you want to flip them like so. Oh, that looks, see how nicely browned? Perfect. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I added that extra tablespoon of flour, because these are holding together really, really nicely. Okay, so I'm going to set this timer for 4 minutes for this side, and we'll see if they need to go 4 or maybe the additional minute. Okay, almost 4 minutes is almost up, and I'm going to check the bottoms to make sure they're nicely browned. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, perfect. Okay, I'm going to turn this off. The timer is almost ready to go off. Okay, there it is. Turned it off. Just gonna let them sit there for another half a minute. Before I transfer them to the paper towel. Okay. I hope you can see this. Okay, I'm going to get another piece of paper towel. This is how I do it. I just kind of blot the top. Just blot it a little bit. You don't get all the grease. Let me come around here. And there you go. Look at those beauties. Just gorgeous. And I'm really excited to try one. Look at that. That's just, look at inside. That is very tasty. Very, very tasty. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. I forgot to mention that you can put cheese, grated parmesan, cheddar, whatever cheese you like, you can add that as well. That helps hold them together too. So again, thank you for watching me. I hope you enjoy making these, and I will put the recipe as best I can in the description box. But again, you can adapt it and change it, add different vegetables, add cooked vegetables, cheese, you name it, you can't do anything wrong. They're delicious. Plus, if you use the leftovers in your fridge, then you're being very frugal and you're using up, you know, your leftover carrots, leftover broccoli, whatever. So, thanks for watching me and have a good day. And please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting another video. And I hope you all had a great Christmas and are looking forward to the new year. I can't believe it's almost 2026. Time has really gone by. It doesn't seem that long ago that it was, you know, Y2K, year 2000, and we were all dancing at our 1999 parties. And here we are, 2026. Oh my goodness. But anyway, thanks for watching again and keep smiling.